Hey yo, Choppies, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Made Me Do It. This is episode number 3. If you haven't seen the prior episodes, make sure you go check them out. This is basically a show where I'm just sitting down and chopping it up with y'all, man. Just like thinking about, some of the things that happened in my life, sharing some stories with y'all so y'all could get a better glimpse of who I am as a person and, what makes me tick. Like, why am I the man that I am today? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all, are interested in my stories, and I figured that what's the best way to connect with y'all than on my own platform, give y'all my story on my own platform versus going on somebody else's platform and saying stuff. But you know what I'm saying, y'all my choppy, so I'm giving it to y'all straight right here. Hip Hop Made Me Do It is also a Spotify playlist, goes hand in hand with these with this show. So every time I upload a new story, I also go and refresh the music that's on that Spotify playlist, Hip Hop Made Me Do It, with all the songs that I was listening to during the time of the story. And I made it interactive. I'm not really 100% sure how that works. So if y'all have any suggestions or ideas to make that playlist go any better with this story, with these stories, make sure y'all comment below and let me know what's up. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe. Make sure you share my channel. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all. So moving forward, also ChinaMacOnline.com. A lot of y'all be saying, yo, Mac, how can I get that hat or how can I get that shirt you was wearing? Well, you could go get it on ChinaMacOnline.com. All of my merch is sold there. You can get this choppy hat. You can get this Red Money shirt that says Red Money in Chinese on here. I also got other hats. This Red Money strip snapback hat with the Red Money logo on the back. You got a white dad hat, Red Money dad hat, China Mac signature. That's actually my signature. China Mac, you know what I mean? This red dad hat. And I got another snapback, this Red Money logo, baseball logo, which is the tattoo on my arm. So basically, all of this, the links are in the description below. It'll take you to my website. It'll take you to my Spotify playlist. So, the story that, and I have a guest today. I got Leo. I got this beautiful cat right here. This cat is like, expensive, dope ass cat. So I figured he's chilling, so I just keep him here. Alright, so the story that I'm gonna tell today is how I joined the Ghost Shadow gang, which is a Chinese gang, which it's not around anymore. It was a gang in Chinatown, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So to give y'all, I already said this on Vlad, but to give y'all a little history, like I grew up in Chinatown. Most of the people that I looked up to as a kid, they were all gang members, Flying Dragons, and Flying Dragons, they were like the top gang in Chinatown back in the day. They were actually responsible for the China White, which is the heroin that came from Asia, and the Flying Dragons was responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, man, my father was a part of that, and I felt a lot of respect from the community, from the people of the community, because of who my father was, whether it was out of fear or whether it was out of love, whatever it was. I felt that when I walked in the room, people was like, oh, that's Wu Lei. Wu Lei is Fox in Chinese. That's his son. That's his son. Blah, blah, blah. And once he was the first one to get arrested by the feds. And when he did that, the boss, Onion Head, which is his right man, that was his best friend. You know what I'm saying? I remember he came to my mom's house. He came to my mom's house. Matter of fact, no, I'm lying. It wasn't in the house. We was in a car, and he came into the car. I was in the back seat, in the baby in the back. I don't think I was in the baby seat. I don't know. I was 5 years old, so I was probably in the baby seat. And I remember this one thing. I remember him handing my mom it was like 5 envelopes of cash, busting out the envelopes. Like it was that, and it wasn't small bills. It was all large bills. And that was when my father got arrested. He was like, listen, anything you need, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. I got you. Like anything. He was a stand-up dude, man. That's what stand-up dudes are supposed to do. When your friend, when your homie, when your brother is locked up, when there's something that happens, you gotta take care of the family, take care of that person's family. So, I got a whole nother story that has to do with that, but I'll tell that on another one. So basically, I'm saying this to let y'all know, like, where my mind state was about the gangs in Chinatown. So after that happened, maybe like a couple months later, you know, Onion Head gets arrested, and come to find out that my father basically, cooperated with the feds. And that news came, and it really struck hard because I didn't hear the news, but I saw what was happening with my mother. I seen like the fear in her eyes when, she didn't even want to go to Chinatown anymore. There was one time before we knew what happened, we went to Chinatown and we felt this energy, and we felt it just didn't feel safe. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell that on a whole nother story too. But that's how it was, man. Like, after my father did that, I really hated him for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like he left us out there. I felt like he just not only betrayed them, but he also just like betrayed us. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care what would happen to us. You know what I'm saying? And once I got older and I realized what was happening, that hate even intensified. Like, I really hated him. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, in my young mind still, at like 10, 11, 12, I looked at what was a man to me was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that I saw, that I looked up to, though that's what a man was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So I always looked up to gangsters, man. I always looked up to that, and I always wanted to be that. You know what I'm saying? Since this young age. And after my mom kept me away from Chinatown, she didn't want me to be around there because she felt it was unsafe. But how I would be unsafe anywhere because I was bad. You know what I mean? So at like 8 years old, I went to my first group home institution, and then I was just bad from there, and I just kept on going in and out these institutions. And I had came out, and I went to PS. I went to PS, and I was so bad at that school. I went to a few of them, but they put me in special. Once I got into junior high school, they put me into special education. And around that time, I had gotten in some more trouble. They put me back in a group home, and I was in this group home, but they made me travel from the Bronx, which was where the group home was at, Gun Hill Road, all the way to Queens to go to school. So I used to travel like 2 hours, 3 hours just to get to school. And I was in this junior high school, and they had me in special education for the bad kids, not for, learning disabilities, but for like, behavioral problems. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they put me in this classroom, because everybody in this classroom had behavioral issues. Like, if I was bad, then all of these kids was bad. We was all bad, and we was just like, we wasn't even listening to the teachers. We used to throw things at the teachers, play dice in back of the classroom. We used to go to the cafeteria, fight. It was fights every day. It was just bad, like, you know what I mean? And I remember I was the only Asian person in that classroom, and there was another Asian person in the classroom next to us, but he was older. And I remember he was quiet and stuff. Like, I was more louder. Like, I used to, like, I was with the shits. Like, I used to fight all the time. I used to, like, because I had already did the group homes. I had went to Spofford already, so I was kind of mixy, you know what I'm saying? So I was just running around, just hanging out with all the, like, everybody from the projects, hanging out in the hoods, and I was just doing my thing. So what happened was I ended up, and I remember what music was lit at the time. At the time, Black Moon, I Got You Open. I remember I used to listen to that every day. Don't front, I got you open. I used to be in a group home, I remember, and back then it was like the army fatigues. I used to wear the Timbs, my Tim boots with the army fatigues, army jacket, you know what I'm saying? Everything army. And I remember I had my little Walkman, cassette player, and I used to play Black Moon. I had a mixtape with like Black Moon. What else was popping? That song was popping to me though. Laws of the Underground, Chief Rocker, Chief Rocker, Chief Rock. That song was popping at that time. METHOD, man. Yo, that song was like everything. I ain't gonna lie. That when I think about junior high school days, that song comes to mind, because that was when Wu-Tang was like just coming out, and that was my song, bro. So I used to get on this bus, listen to my music, go to the junior high school, whatever, and then I remember I was just like, you know what, man, I don't even, something happened at the group home, and I was just like, I don't even want to be there no more. Like I just ran away from the group home. One day I went to school and I never went back, and I didn't go home, and I was just like living in the like just staying with my homie's house, like. You know, I used to bounce because their parents didn't know that I was there, so I would sneak in there, like in their closet, and sleep in their closet. Wait until they parent or underneath the bed. Wait until their parents leave. They used to sneak me food inside the closet. Like I'll eat once the mother goes to work, then I'll sleep like on a bed. Or some nights I couldn't get in the house. I'll be like sleeping on a train or on a staircase. Like it was rough. You know what I'm saying? But so one day there was like a bunch of us. We was in front of my old school, the junior high school that I had dropped out of, and the other Chinese kid, his name was A, that was in the special ed. He saw me. He's like, yo, he pulled up on me. He's like, yo, what you doing? I ain't been seeing you. What's up with you? I was like, I dropped out, I ran away and stuff. So he's like, where? So where you staying? I was like, I'm just around, like, you know. So he was like, so he reached in his pocket. And he had a little knot on him. He gave me $50. I'm just like, oh snap! I'm like, yo, I was broke, like broke. He gave me money. I'm like, oh, thank you, like, good looking. So he like, yo, you want to come hang out? I'm like, hang out where? So he like in Chinatown. I'm like, Chinatown. So now I don't think he didn't know, like he didn't know about my history of Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't know that, you know, I had history in China. I grew up in Chinatown. So I'm like, what's up? Like, do what? He's like, oh, you know, I got a place for you to stay. You know what I mean? Like, you can stay there. We got food. We'll feed you. You can smoke cigarettes. There's girls. I said, cigarettes, free food, girls. Like, I got somewhere to stay. I don't have to stay in. It was a winter, too. It was cold as fuck. Like, I didn't have to stay in, like, just, because the living issue was crazy for me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I would have to sleep in the cold. Like, you know what I mean? So I was just like, all right, I'm with it. Like, what's up? So I followed him to Chinatown. We went to China. We was on the train going to Chinatown. He was just, you know, he was just asking me like, yo, you ever heard of Ghost Shadows? So when he said that name to me, I'm like, Ghost Shadows. Like now, mind you, like I grew up in Chinatown with the gangs, Flying Dragons. Like Ghost Shadows was the gang that I always heard them talk about. You know what I mean? Like that was their arch nemesis, like their rivals, like, you know what I'm saying? So I used to couldn't go to Mott Street, to the arcade where all the kids want to go. Yeah, I couldn't go there because the Ghost Shadows, you know what I'm saying? So I heard of this name. His name was, so I'm just like, yeah, I heard of that. And then I'm just like, you know, I didn't say anything about my father because I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to say anything. But so we go to Chinatown and we get off the train. We go to the apartment. So, you know, the gangs, they have their own gang apartments. So there was actually like 2 gang apartments on that block, Bayard Street, Ghost Shadows. So we went up to, and when I remember I walked up there, and this wasn't my first time in the gang apartment because I seen them, you know, I went to them before as a kid with my father and stuff. But hold on, let me make sure this camera's on. All right. So I went to the ones in on Pell Street, the Flying Dragons one, when I was a kid. So when I went there, I walked in and there was a bunch of, and what happened was that day, it so happened, like, I guess for that couple days, they was bringing in new recruits, young kids like myself. We was all like my age. The oldest was probably like 15 years old. So they was in the apartment, there was kids there, and I was there. I came in and I seen like there was like a little talk. There was like a little talk, and they was talking to the new recruits, and I came in, and there was like maybe like 5 new people coming in. So I had just came in while they was having a little meeting, and A told them like, oh, this is a new kid I'm bringing in. So I sat down, and they was just saying like, yo, they was talking about brothers and brotherhood, like, you know, how like, you know, how everybody in this room are brothers, and how, you know, how we got to stick together, and this is a family. And I don't know, bro, like those words like just struck home for me, because at that age, that's what I was looking for. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no male figures. I didn't have, my father was gone. He didn't care. Nobody was really looking out. And it was just like, I didn't have nobody to look up to. And I was yearning for that. I was looking for that. I was in the streets looking for that. So when he said that, I'm just like, yo. And I knew my father was a flying dragon. So I'm like, yo, I'm fucking with this. I'm getting down with this because this is like what I wanted. This is what I felt like, you know what I'm saying, I was missing. And it felt like these are the people that I regarded as men. And I want to be like, I want to be this. And I don't want to be what my father was. I want to be over here. I want to be with the Ghost Shadows. So after they said that, and I kind of made up my mind right there, like, I'm staying here. This is what I'm doing. And they basically, the apartment, right, they had bunk beds. It was like 1, 2, like probably like 4 bunk beds in one room, and then there was like 2 bunk beds, and there's like 3 different, it wasn't rooms, but it was like one space, like, you know what I mean, you could walk from like the bathroom to another room. There wasn't doors closing off anything, but it was like little sections, and there was bunk beds throughout it. And they gave me my bunk bed, and it just felt like, it just felt cool as hell, like, to be in there. You know what I'm saying? And then later that night, you know, you could just do whatever you want. It wasn't like no parents looking out. Like, you couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, it just felt like a bunch of like cool people in a space. And then girls came later, and we were chilling. They was playing Spin the Bottle. Like, I was just like, I want to be here. You know what I'm saying? I want to be here. And then, so as I'm looking around the room, I see, like, you know, there's 4 like monitors, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4 monitors, and you can see the street, Bayard Street. So they had cameras, and the monitors was to watch the street, to make sure no other gang members was coming on our blocks, because we protected that block. That was our block, and made sure that when the cops came on the block, we would know. You know what I'm saying? So people would take shifts at nighttime to watch that. In the daytime, we would all watch the street. Like, you know, the gang would disperse throughout the block, and we would all be standing there. And if anybody came on our block, we would address it. You know what I'm saying? So I just liked the order. Like, everything just looked at, like, you know, like it was just order, right? And it was like, you know, it just felt like there was something that I wanted to be a part of. You know what I mean? And one day I was in an apartment, in the gang apartment, and one of the older dudes came up, and he was with like 2 girls, and they was chilling. They was over there like smoking, doing drugs, sniffing, doing drugs, and I was sitting there watching TV, chilling, and he kept on looking at me, like, so he like, yo, what's your name? And I was like, well, Sanjay, that's what they call me, Lil Buddha, right? So he like, you got family in Chinatown? So I'm like, yeah. So at that time, my father and them was all in jail, but my uncle, which is my aunt, my mother's sister, her husband was a big time, was on Pell Street, big time dude. They had took over Pell Street at that time, and I was like, yeah. And he's just looking at me. He was like, yo, your family is your Wule son, right? So I'm just like, pfft. And it took me a while to answer him. I was like, yeah. And he was just looking at me. And I hated the fact that he knew that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to keep that a secret. I didn't want that to be known. Because I didn't want them to feel like, you know, I was like him. Because I wasn't like him. I didn't want to be like him. I didn't want to be, you know, disloyal to my family. You know what I'm saying? I felt like this is my family now, and I want to show my family that I'm down 100%. And it's crazy because I never felt really like, you know, I never felt really accepted. You know what I mean? Like, my father really didn't want me. You know, he was never there. You know what I'm saying? My family I didn't feel like I connect, that I was really wanted by them. You know what I mean? My mom used to always have to go to work and leave me. I felt like she ain't want me. You know what I'm saying? And when I was going to these group homes and institutions, I was the only Asian person, so I never really felt like accepted. You know what I'm saying? But when I was in that gang apartment, I felt accepted. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, yo, I was with a bunch of people that, you know, that cared about me. We're brothers. And I wanted to do anything and everything to show them that I was family, that I was a brother. You know what I'm saying? And I remember it had to be the same week or within 2 weeks, right? I had heard this thing. Like I heard that one of the dudes, one of the gang members had went to this store because every store in Chinatown was being extorted. You know what I'm saying? So he went to this store and the dude refused to pay, and then when they came back, he chased one of them with a meat cleaver. You know what I'm saying? And the gang was outraged by that, and they wanted to show that owner. They wanted to show them that, you know, we're not to be played with. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted to make their voice be heard, right? Make a point. So now I'm hearing that all the kids is like, yo, they want us to shoot. Like they want us like, yo, boom boom, they want us to shoot the place, whatever. And all the kids was kind of scared. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't want to do it. But I remember hearing that, and I'm just like, in my mind, I was like, you know, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't say it. But that's what I was saying. So that one day, one of the older dudes came up to the gang apartment and was like, yo, I need 4 kids. I need 4 people. And there was like maybe 6 of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need 4. And it was like, I need one of y'all to get the gun, the 22. They had a little 22 and stuff for us. So everybody was acting like they didn't want to do it. So the dude, he was 18, he was renting the house, and he was like, yo, who wants to do it? So nobody was saying anything. So they didn't want me to do it because they were saying they acted like they didn't want me to do things because I was too young, or because, like, you know, I was running from a group home or whatever. They didn't want to make it hot or whatever. So I was like, I'll do it. And then the dude was like, nah, you can't do it. But the older dude was like, you want to do it? I was like, I'll do it. He was like, you know how to use it? And I was like, yeah, they had showed me. They showed me like last week. They showed me a couple days ago. So I was like, he was like, all right, give it to him. So they was all looking at me and was like, I took it, boom, put it in my jacket. And they fixed it. They was like, all you gotta do is just shoot. So I was like, all right. So we walked down and we walked to the store. I walked across the street. The other kids was walking, you know, on their own. So they wanted the kids to go in and fuck the store up, right? And me, for me to wait outside. Fuck the store up, break the windows. They said they want that whole place destroyed. They want to destroy that place. So, and I was to stay outside. And once the kids all leave, I was to open fire on the place. You know what I'm saying? To show him that he's not supposed to be chasing none of us with no meat cleaver. So they broke up the store. I watched them. I went across the street, and I was just standing there. And I remember them going inside, and I'm just like, my heart was jumping crazy. Like, it was the first time I even, like, you know, first time I touched a gun. You know what I'm saying? Let alone shoot it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I'm just standing there with my hand in my pocket, and I felt this gun, and I felt it like my palms were sweaty, and I was nervous, and my fingers were shaking. But I told myself, I'm doing this. You know what I mean? The gang wants me to do it. I want to show them that I'm a brother. You know what I'm saying? So they went in there tearing the place up. Boom, 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 tearing, throwing everything down. The windows bursting, pow, boom. And then these kids started running out. Boom. And sure enough, when they started running out, the owner started coming out chasing. And as soon as he did that, as soon as the kids started running out, I pulled out the gun, right? And then once all of them ran away and the dudes came out, I started shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Started shooting at the store. Boom, 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 boom. The owners hit the floor. He hit the floor. Boom. But it wasn't like a big gun. It was a 2.2. So it was like boom, boom, boom. But he still hit the floor. Boom. I started shooting the store. Any other window that wasn't broken, I was shooting it off. Bah, 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 bah. I let off like 6 shots and I ran. Boom. They told me to run the other direction. And as I'm running, I felt nervous, but I felt like powerful. I felt scared, but I felt strong. Like I felt like, you know what I mean? Like I felt like I was doing something for my brothers. I felt like I was doing something for the gang. I felt like they would, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this was something to show them that I was down, right? So I didn't even care. I was running fast. And they told me to run to this building. I ran in the building. Somebody was waiting for me. They took the gun, and I stayed there for like an hour or two. And within that hour, I was just sitting there like, I just felt like I did it. Like, you know what I mean? And then when their car came, picked me up, brought me back to the gang house, to the gang apartment. And I remember I walked inside and everybody was cheering me like, yeah, yeah, yeah. They was touching me in my head. I was so little. I was a baby, bro. I was 11, bro. Like, I was a baby, man. Now I look at these kids, they 10, 11, and I'm just looking at like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they was, yeah, praising me. And I remember I loved it. You know what I mean? I felt so strong. I felt so wanted. You know what I mean? I felt like that was where I was supposed to be. I felt like that was a family to me. I felt like they loved me. And any kids that's watching right now, even if you're not a kid, if you got any kids, any teenagers that's going through something like this, that maybe let them see this, man. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, they did not love me. Nobody in that apartment loved me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even know me. You know what I mean? They just loved what I was doing for the game. They just loved that I would take a gun and shoot it. You know what I'm saying? They just loved that. You know what I mean? But when I got arrested, they didn't come get me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come visit me. You know what I mean? You know who came to visit me? You know who came to get me? My mother. You know what I'm saying? When I was in a hospital bed fighting for my life, they ain't come visit me. They ain't do that. You know what I mean? So that shit was just an illusion. You know what I mean? That was just something that they dangled in front of me. You know what I mean? Knowing that that was something that I wanted at the time. They just dangled it in front of me. But that's not what it was. It was a lie. It was a lie. And I learned the hard way. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know, that's why, man, if any kids watching this, the streets don't love you, man. Streets don't love you. They might love you at the time. It might feel like it's right. But 9 times out of 10, it ain't right. When you in jail doing them 25 years, they gonna forget about you. You know what I mean? So that's my story, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and make sure, you know, if you see any kids that need to see this, you know what I'm saying, let them see it. Let them know what's real. Until next time, be safe, be great. Much love.